Alright, since the last one, I whipped up some Britannia mana generation because I want to get into some more Britannia. And I did a lot of renovation on the basement. So it's all nice and clean, and I can now fill it with as many machines as I desire. I also added Mechanism, which is a fairly large mod, and it's a lot of fun to mess with and has some great ore processing potential. But I think this episode I'm going to work on whipping up some armor. I want to try the Flux infused armor from Redstone Arsenal. So I've got a few requisite machines ready in my inventory. I think I've got... yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to throw together some machines here. Just anywhere, just temporary, so I can work on this. And later, in probably the next episode, I'll rig it up with full auto crafting of the whole magma crucible fluid transposer system. So I'm going to do the magma crucible and the fluid transposer. Let's see, I'm going to have it output its fluid to the top. This one's going to input the fluid from the bottom. Actually, so I've got some materials all counted out here and ready for what I need for a full set of armor. I'm also going to use these chests too. So I'm going to say, okay, go ahead and take your... So you're going to pull your input from the back. There we go. Yeah, okay. So while that's chewing, I've also got this compactor that is going to need to start chewing on some stuff. And I need to go grind this electrum into powder, because I'm going to need to make fluxed electrum dust. This is going to take a bit. Let's get some upgrades. Get that and that. Oh, it already has it. Ha ha ha. Okay, never mind about that. I was thinking about maybe starting a reactor from a extreme reactor soon too. Why am I getting such little input on the capacitor? Oh, right. Because the hysteresis. Right. That's why it's not pulling power from the canola plant right now. That's fine. Oh, whoops. Alright, well that's chewing on that. I think I'm going to start prepping for an extreme reactor. So I've already started making some graphite for it, and I made a few of the casing cores. We're gonna need a bunch of these, and we're out of iron again. Get some more of this started. I'm gonna have to start automating ore processing eventually. I'm thinking I might go ahead, just do it with mechanism for all the normal-ish ores. Then anything specialized can go through just like a sag mill. But mechanism you can easily get 3 times, and with enough work you can get up to 5 times ore processing. So I'm really looking forward to messing with that. Alright, so we're going to need a controller. We're going to need the power tap. Going to need 2 access ports. And I was hoping I had pistons auto-craftable. Wow. I need more wood. What I need to do is get me a sawmill. And rig up automatic log processing, because the sawmill will get you a lot more. 2 of those. Probably a redstone port just for kicks, so we can do some control of it. I'm curious to see if you can do anything with like integrated dynamics with it, like read any of the internal information of it. What do I need for some reactor glass? I'll let that chew on that for a while. So I'm not sure where I want to put it. I guess I could put it underground. Or I could just put it out here somewhere, and I wonder what I have connected to that capacitor bank. Is it an advanced connector? Hopefully. Okay, that should probably be an advanced. Otherwise it's gonna have like a 10,000 RF per tick cap. Here it is. So that should bump it up to an advanced connector, which can do 100,000 a tick, I think, which should be plenty. There you go. So I'm not sure if what I'll probably do, I might work on the reactor next time and lay it out and work on a rough building between episodes. This might be just a quick one about armor. I also want to start converting to AE2 eventually. Okay, this is almost done. Let's check on how the electrum is. Excellent. I put the other 36 in there. But yeah, I really like how the basement came out. Gonna have tons of room for stuff down here. Now it's gonna start filling the electrum blend with this to get fluxed electrum. And that's what all the rest of that's for. I think I'm good for weapons. I just need... I want to make some good armor. I don't want to just skip straight to Draconic. Yeah, maybe I will go ahead and lay out a building. Grab some stone bricks, and I went ahead and made myself an unbreakable builder's wand. Maybe I'll put it where the old canola plant was over here. I might not make a building, I might just like fence it in so that mobs can't get in. Because what I usually end up doing with reactors is I'll make a decent sized passive reactor, and then I will eventually make a turbine or two. So I want to kind of leave myself enough room to have like the core reactor and then a turbine on either side, or even a turbine on all four sides. So maybe like use this chunk where the old canola plant was, and then eventually I can drop a turbine there, and if I need even more power later, there and there. So that'd probably work. I'll still probably just kind of fence it in, not actually build a building around it. And that should just go in my backpack. I'll throw the reactor parts in the backpack for now. And grab some, see if I still have any, like stone walls, or maybe something cooler looking. Yes, I do have stone walls. So, the design I usually end up doing for the base reactor itself usually is an exterior dimension of 9 by 9 for an interior dimension of 7 by 7. Usually makes a fairly, get rid of that core sample, I don't need it anymore. A fairly efficient reactor, or at least efficient enough for my uses. I love unbreakable ones. Alright. Or maybe I should inset the reactor in the ground. Where's it? That I heard a skeleton. Really? Alright. Yeah, I think I'm gonna inset it into the ground, and I might make a small basement eventually. And I didn't bring enough. I don't need the overlay anymore. Oh, yeah, let's go check on the progress of the armor. And get this started. I think we need sand. Oh. Alright, well. Alright, well, this should be enough to finish off at least the base layer. Probably not going to get this finished in this episode, but... So, generally, like, with my math, I usually will make one with an interior height of 1, and that's enough for 2 turbines, I think. But if I go ahead and make it an interior height of 2, I can go ahead and power pretty much like 5 turbines off this thing eventually, and get decent passive generation before I go turbine. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to fence off this chunk. Actually, which side do we have more on? Okay, yeah. It's hard to do symmetrical with chunks. Since I can fly, I'm just going to go ahead and completely put a perimeter around it. Alright, how's the sand doing? Alright. Induction smelter. Give me fluxed electrum. What I'll probably end up doing is running a small basement tunnel a la the one that goes over there to the other one, but branch it off to come over here to the reactor here, and then I'll just pull all the stuff out of the bottom so there's not conduits and pipes and connectors everywhere on top. So what do I need more of? So I've got enough graphite. Looks like I just need to make more of the reactor casing cores. And I'm out of iron again. Like I said, automated ore processing needs to be a thing. Oh, nope, that's the deep dark. Still churning away. Actually, let's put that on the so I'm gonna need a total of 100 of these fluxed electrum ingots. And then I need to turn them into fluxed electrum plates. That's where this baby comes in here. So it's going to start working on those plates. Because basically, the armor I want is this armor, the flux-infused armor. So each piece is made in the normal fashion, but these armor platings are a flux crystal, which is a diamond with redstone, and 4 of these plates, which is made from an ingot, which is made from the flux electrum blend. So, I'm just going to have to wait for all this stuff to process. So I might have to fast forward through a bit of this. But I can work on the reactor in the meantime. I like to be able to see on the sides of it. I probably won't put the stuff on the bottom until after it's going. I'll probably get it going and then clean up all the connections and make the underground room and run all the wiring there after it's all put together. So I'll probably do that not on video, but alright, let's light this up. Whoop. There must be an underground pocket over there, because I'm always hearing monsters and such. That's pretty good for now. Yeah, another thing Mechanism does when it's in the pack is it gives zombies and skeletons armor and weapons. So they take quite a bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and make some of the armor. It's going to take so long to finish this, I'm probably not going to do all of it on a video, but can at least make the helmet. And you can put RF in this and it works really well. So this holds 800,000. Nice chunk of RF there. It'll be a lot better than my psi armor. Look cooler too. I'm hoping I did my math right. Sure doesn't look like enough of the flux plates, but I think I'm going to skip ahead till I have all this armored completed. So I went ahead and just stuck a quick and dirty metallurgic infuser here to start making the control circuits for mechanism. I'm just going to go ahead and whip up a stack of them because I'm going to need a lot of them eventually. So let's see how this is doing. Making progress, but still going to keep fast forwarding. Now mind you, these aren't going to have the all the little fancy perks of like dark steel armor right off the bat, but I'm planning on enchanting them eventually. I want to get a Britannia mana enchanter so I don't consume my enchanted books, but that's a ways off yet for Britannia. I need to automate a bunch of the Britannia and such. One downside to mechanism machines is they're noisy, but they're nice. Home stretch on the armor, I think. I think I'm also going to finish the walls in this tunnel. Maybe make a proper exit into the power plant eventually. I should probably remodel the power plant at some point too, because I could make it much higher capacity if I gave it like more fermenting barrels, another canola press, replace this with a couple of immersive engineering garden cloches. I could probably greatly increase the capacity of this power plant. I already doubled up on oil generators. So. Oh. Look at that. My math worked out perfectly. Eventually I'm going to automate the whole magma crucible fluid transposer setup. I came up with a really elegant way of doing it on the multiplayer server that I play with my friends on, but I need to figure out where it would look cool doing it in here Here we go, the last bit. Then I'll have my flux infused armor. There's also flux infused weapons too, which are kind of neat. I don't know what in the... I guess it serves as shears. That's interesting. Yeah, I really like Redstone Arsenal. Flux infused fishing rod. That's interesting. How's our iron situation? Ugh. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need that mechanism multiplication soon. That or just any sort of auto ore processing. Because I mean, I've got the quantum quarry. I've got it throttled right now to whatever size of flux duct is under there. I actually switched it. I went and found a mesa biome because I was so desperate for gold. It's paid off pretty good. I've gotten several hundred gold out of it. I'll probably put the mechanism ore processing in another building just because it's so noisy. All the machinery. Some of the machinery is noisier than others, but they all make sounds and they're audible from a ways away. Well, look at that. I miscounted and had one left over. Alright, so I've got my armor done. I've made some great progress on the reactor, but I'm going to need a lot more materials. So I'll probably finish the reactor next episode, and maybe I'll work on a automated food supply at some point too. So until next time, see ya.